Hello, YouTube world. It's your girl Dana Monet again, here to recap another edition of American Idol, season 15. And I'm going to discuss the first group of the top 24, so the semifinal round. Again, no spoilers. There was another show that was pre-taped yesterday, and there are results already. So please, no spoilers in reference to that. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, I do want to say that the solo night, to me, was pretty much a hot mess of performances. It was almost like, do you guys know what you're performing for? You are performing to be not only the American Idol of season 15, but this is the last American Idol. I mean, even people that I love, like, these performances were not at the level of an American Idol. It's just like they went up there and like just went and like did whatever. They were either safe or they were bad. And it was just like the only person that really brought anything to life and really got me excited was LaPortia. But even her song was incredibly predictable. And it was just, I was very, extremely unimpressed with Wednesday night. And I probably give that entire episode like a D. It was horrible to me. However, I think the duets redeemed them because I think that having the Idol alums there really brought out the best in some of the contestants. And I think it just made the episode better to hear some people really go out there and sing. I just feel like a lot of these kids are just like scared to sing, and it absolutely makes no sense. I'm not really going to go into a lot of information about Wednesday night because in my opinion it was a hot mess, but I will discuss my three favorites from Wednesday night, and they may surprise you. The first one will not. My favorite performance from Wednesday night was LaPortia, and she sang Proud Mary, fringe and all. Look, I understand that she's not everybody's cup of tea, especially singing this song. I get it. She sang an overdone song. It was outdated, very cliche outfit, cliche dance moves, but she hit every note. She was confident. She had so much presence on stage, and she made me happy watching her. Like, I got excited. She made me chuckle a little bit with some of the dance moves that I was like, go ahead, girl. You roll on the river, like, for real, because thank you for bringing some life to this dismal night. Like, I was just so happy that she brought some life to it because it was pretty dead. My other favorite was Avalon, and even Avalon wasn't great, but it's something about her performances. Like, whenever she starts to perform, I just smile. Like, she makes me happy. Like, her tone of her voice, the way she just sat down on the steps and started singing to the audience. Like J-Lo said, she just draws you in. She had the audience in the palm of her hand from the get-go. Now, she did have some pitch issues. I will say that. Everything wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be, but she was definitely one of the best of the night. And then, surprisingly, my other favorite of the night was actually Jeneve. And this might be the only performance that I've liked from her the entire competition. I have not liked her all season. And then she gets up there with the harp and sings a beautiful rendition of Angel without all of the extra just antics and stuff like what she did on Thursday night with Scotty McCreery. She just sang and played the harp, and it was actually really beautiful, and it was one of my favorite performances. I do have to say something that I noticed on Wednesday night, and I don't know if the contestants noticed this at all, but there were 3 singers last night that sang songs from people from last season's top 24. So Stephanie sang Mama Knows Best, which Serena Joy Crow sang last season in top 24 and killed it. Stephanie couldn't even measure up. And then Sonika sang Safe and Sound, although lesser known from last season. There was a contestant, I don't even remember her name. She didn't make it past the top 24, but she sang that song. And then Gianna Isabella sang I Put a Spell on You. And we all know Quentin put a spell on us last season when he sang that song. And Gianna didn't put anything on me except for, a very boring, bland vocal. So I thought that was really interesting. It's like, do y'all did y'all watch last season? Did you think you could measure up to those performances? Did anybody try to talk them out of it? I mean, especially for the Mama Knows Best and I Put a Spell on You, because those were such great performances last season. It just made absolutely no sense. And I have seen a 16-year-old kill I Put a Spell on You. Jackie Lee from The Voice. Gianna is not the one. She's not the one. And also, I just kind of want to point out how Emily Brooke, she just really tanked on that Wednesday night. And I don't know if she was one of the chosen ones, but it didn't even matter after that performance. I don't think she sang a single note in tune. It was actually a hot mess. It really, really was. It really was. Oh, and Jordan trying to sing Celine Dion all by myself. No, honey. Let's just not do that. So on to the better of the two nights, the duets. And the Idol alumni that came back was Ruben Studdard, Caleb Johnson, Lauren Elena, Nick Fradiani, Fantasia, and Scotty McCreery. And I have to say that I would have been excited to sing with 4 out of the 6. And that would be Caleb, Ruben, Fantasia, and Lauren. And I have to say the most pleasant surprise of the idols that came back was Lauren, because I didn't really pay attention to her like that during that season because it was kind of all about Haley for me. But I don't know if she just got better, but Lauren can blow. And both of the contestants that she sang with, especially Mackenzie, she completely blew them out of the water vocally. It was like pretty ridiculous. And she looked great. So I will say that. My absolute favorite duet, surprisingly, was Stephanie and Ruben Studdard. And the thing about Stephanie is that I haven't really been feeling her this entire season. She's good enough. She's not bad at all. She's not great. She has great style. She has a great look. She knows how to walk in heels, as J-Lo said. She has nice presence on stage, but it's like a calculated confidence. Nothing ever seems like it comes naturally to her. And I was like, there's something missing. It's just, okay, you can sing kind of good and you're cute. And, maybe with the right songs and the right producers, somebody could do something with you. But I just don't see how you can progress in this competition. And then she sings with Ruben, who, by the way, I feel is the only Idol alum who really took the term duets to heart. And both of his duets felt like duets. I will say that. But my favorite was Stephanie and Ruben. And that was such a beautiful duet, them singing Superstar. I mean, her voice was absolutely beautiful. The harmonies were absolutely gorgeous. And it just sounded so nice. And it was so nice to see the Velvet Teddy Bear back, because Ruben is not one of the past idols that people talk about a lot, but his voice is smooth as butter and nobody can deny that. And I just loved that duet. I loved it. And I loved it a tad bit more than LaPortia and Fantasia, but we about to get into LaPortia and Fantasia. Okay, so they sang Summertime. So first off, when I knew that LaPortia was singing with Fantasia, was completely excited. I was like, yes. And then when I heard they were singing Summertime, I was like, yes. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna slay. And they slayed, but they slayed like slay. I wanted them to slay, like Slade Trick or you get eliminated. Sorry, I had to throw a Beyonce reference in there, But I think they got in formation. I have to say that. But LaPortia and Fantasia were like a match made in heaven. But honestly, if there was any time that LaPortia was going to go off the rails singing, that would have been the moment to do it with Fantasia on that song. I mean, like, they sounded amazing singing that song together. Like they really, really, really did. I just wanted it to be a little bit more. And I just wanted it to be a little bit more. And Fantasia does this thing on Summertime when she goes, I don't even know if I can do it well. She goes like, standing. I wanted her to do that and she didn't do it. Like, I just wanted it to be like, I was like throwing shoes like this. And I wanted to be like, but I think that was wishful thinking. But maybe it's good, you know, they both showed restraint with the song, but I kind of wanted them to like go wild and crazy. So if they would have went ham, that would have been my favorite duet of the night. But they kind of held it back a little bit, which was still lovely. But I wanted them to go ham. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But other than that, that was a great duet. I guess my other favorite duet was maybe Sonika and Caleb or Avalon with Ruben. So I'm going to discuss them both. So Sonika and Caleb, first of all, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Caleb. I know a lot of people don't like Caleb. They was hating on Caleb during his season. I personally loved Caleb during his season. Caleb can sing his rocker ass off. That's what I'm going to say. And it sounds like he's gotten better. He outsang both of the contestants, which was expected. But I love Caleb. I love his voice. He's just so note perfect, just the power. I love it. So I predicted that Caleb and Sonika would sing Skyfall because I remember all of Caleb's performances from his season, and that seemed like it made the most sense for them to sing. And I was like, okay, Sonika can actually do really well in this. Like, I think that she can pull off Adele. I think that she could do it. I feel like, although I thought that the duet was good, I just felt like she could have dug a little bit deeper into the song, and I felt like Caleb did a really good job of trying to pull that out of her. I think she loosened up a little bit more than usual, but I just think it was kind of unfamiliar territory for her to really dig deep into a song, and it was like she didn't really know what to do with it, you know what I mean? But there was a part where he was singing his verse and she was in the background doing some oohs, which sounded really, really nice. But at the end, when they were at the part, let sky fall, she was like on the lower harmony during the modulation. And I wish that she would have been like, sky fall, or something like up there in the stratosphere, which would have made that performance so much more epic. I don't know if it's that she can't go that high, because I think she can. I mean, as much as she sings Ariana Grande, like, I think that she can go that high. So I feel like she took the safe route to take the lower harmony, like, so it didn't come together as I'd liked it to. But I think that the beginning of it was gorgeous with her voice. And, you know, I want a little bit more from Sonika, I have to say. But I think it was good enough being paired with Caleb. I mean, come on now. The other one I liked was Avalon with Ruben, like I said. And Ruben's up here twice because both of his duets felt like duets. Like they were singing together. They were harmonizing nicely. I'm not crazy about Flying Without Wings, I have to say. I know that was his coronation song, but weren't that other songs his season where he did really well in? But aside from that, it looked like Avalon and Ruben really got along, and she was like real chill, and he was like, hey, and Avalon was like, yo, and I was like, that's not what they said actually, but you know, it could have been that way. But I really, really liked them singing together. I felt like she found her pitch and harmonies, because in the rehearsals, it was a little bit off. But I think that she found her center. And I think that they worked, you know, really, really nice together. And I thought it was a really good duet. And I did just want to point out a couple of interesting pairings. Mackenzie and Lauren Elena. Yes, Lauren had a crush on Mackenzie, but that was the biggest mismatch I've ever seen. First of all, as much as I love Mackenzie, and I think that he's an amazing artist and songwriter, he doesn't project when he sings. Like, even on the part where it looked like he was holding the microphone up and he was trying to sing more, like, he wasn't projecting. And I'm like, damn, even Scotty McCreery can project. Like, come on. Can we just let that out there? And I personally think that Mackenzie should have sang with Nick, and Gianna should have sang with Lauren Elena. I think that would have been a better pick. I think that Mackenzie and Nick on their acoustic guitars singing, I'm talking about the man in the mirror, I think that would have been so much better than him and Thomas Stringfellow, him hiccuping, even though he was singing Michael, so Michael does the, but no, I can't have that. But I think that Mackenzie and Nick would have been kind of a perfect, combination, at least with the idols that they had that night. And Gianna with Lauren Elena would have been a little bit better of a combination. That Jeneve with Scotty McCreery, her and her hoedown get up, and Keith saying it was bizarre. It was. And the thing is that vocally she actually didn't sound that bad, but the whole performance I was laughing. It just felt like a joke. It was just funny. Like, it wasn't like it's like she wasn't taking it seriously. Like, she had to be in that full get up. And, it was just, it's not an American Idol winner to me. And I know that they love her and everything like that because she's different and plays like a million instruments and yada, yada, yada. But she's not going to win American Idol. Like, let's be real about this. She's not going to win American Idol. And I don't think that people... Well, what do I know? Maybe people will vote for her, but the way that this season is going to go and they're going to be double eliminations and stuff like that, I don't really see her, lasting that long like that. But I kind of might as well talk about all of the duets briefly. I thought that Emily Brooke redeemed herself with Flat on the Floor, but Lauren Elena was stronger, obviously, on that song. It felt like a battle on The Voice, and somebody commented on me on the blog. I was like, Lauren won that battle, and somebody was like, and then Blake would steal Emily. He probably would. It would be one of those steals where I'd be like, why'd he steal her? But I think she redeemed herself. She was on key. She hit some notes, and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. I briefly discussed Thomas with Nick. I mean, it's not a lot to discuss about that. Jenna Renae and Scotty McCreery. I felt like Jenna was absolutely smitten to be singing with Scotty McCreery, but I just think that her performance fell flat, and her performance on Wednesday night was not. I actually predicted that she'd be one of the people in the top 10, and after her Wednesday performance, I completely threw that in the trash, and I knew that she wasn't going to make it, also because she wasn't one of the chosen ones. So she kind of ruined it for herself. She should have went back on the piano like she did in her audition and just gave a heartfelt performance, and she went the other way. Gianna and Nick. This was an interesting pairing, but it was an interesting performance as far as I haven't liked Gianna, and I'm like in the middle with her. Like, her personality is actually kind of annoying, but it's also a little bit endearing at the same time. When he was like, I didn't know if I could hit that note, but he was like, yeah, I could hit that note. And she was just like, she sounds like a kid, you know what I mean? So that's what was kind of, endearing about her. Like, she just sounded so like real. Like, that's something that a real, teenager would say in that type of situation. But I actually thought, she did the best that she could with the song, and she harmonized with them on this could be the last night of our lives. I actually thought it was pretty good for her, and I think that she was like the only one who actually sounded better than the Idol alum. So that tells you how I feel about Nick. Nick is cute. I think that he's a good guitar player. He's an alright singer, but Clark should have won last season. Actually, Serena should have won last season, but between Clark and Nick, it should have been Clark, but we'll step aside that. So but I know that Gianna was one of the chosen ones, so I knew that she would end up making it. Well, actually, no, I predicted that she would definitely go home after her Wednesday night performance. So I feel like in the back of my mind, though, I knew that she would make it through, but hey, it is what it is. James the Eighth with Caleb. Caleb completely stole the show on that song. Like when Gina and him did it in his season, it was just so powerful and I just loved it. But yeah, James the Eighth, he couldn't even measure up. He doesn't hold on to notes. And then Jordan with Fantasia, I mean, that was just no bueno. I mean, you just can't. Not Jordan with Fantasia. So, a long story short, the top 7 moving on are Jeneve, Avalon, LaPortia, Mackenzie, Gianna, Sonika, and Thomas Stringfellow. So next Wednesday will be the next group of 12 from the top 24 singing, and the judges will whittle it down to 7, and they'll also sing with duets. And I know that Haley Reinhardt is coming back next week, and Jordan Sparks, and I'm really excited about Haley Reinhardt. I think it's gonna be Chris Daughtry and Kelly Pickler and David Cook. It's gonna be some good Idol alums next week, so I am really, really excited about that. So I will see you next week. Bye.